Our hamburgers are the finest, quality beef expertly prepared for extra deliciousness. Treat yourself royally right now. What a hamburger.
The next show will start in 3 minutes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Custom Underground, where we reveal the winners of the Showstopper Customs. There were so many great entries. It was hard as judges to make a choice, but ultimately we had to. And as a bonus, we will announce the next round's theme. I'm sure some of you are waiting for that, but of course we're going to wait till the end.
Yeah, no, it was a great Showstopper challenge, though. This challenge for this week was to paint the most realistic, kind of gruesome, bloody head that you could. So, with the Showstopper challenges, we try to do something that, are little doable things within the 72-hour time frame. But then, at the end of the day, no one gets eliminated. So, actually, here we're crowning 3 different winners. Pat, you want to talk about that?
Yes, so in the pros, you'll have 2 choices. One is you can switch opponents, which we saw some big games coming out of the first round, so that's very possible. Or, and a reminder, I did not score anybody more than 2 points apart. You can get 3 points, which is a huge advantage. And that's also true for the amateurs, but also one amateur in a different bracket will be returning.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the entries. I thought they were really good this year. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I hope that my pictures have them saved as such, but, can't promise. This should be front and center, right?
That is front and center. Look at that. Wow.
This is a beautiful head. This one is actually Forbidden Figurines entry, and she really nailed it with this Terry Funk. This is in the professional division. So this professional division, this is actually quite a huge potential perk here, being those 3 points. 3 points, even if you get 50, could mean that you get an instant buy. It's almost like an instant kill. If you score a 50, obviously, if you don't, either way, it's a huge benefit. I mean, if you score a 45, you're now going to get graded as though you got scored 48. So your opponent, has to try to do that much better just to beat you.
Look at that hair, the barbed wire, the blood. I think she has an advantage that she worked with dolls, because I think that's going to come into some things like the hair and everything.
Oh, absolutely. I think the hair is beautiful, the way the barbed wire is caught up in it. It looks like it's got an agonizing face. She sculpted this from scratch too, which is just insane. That's
the expression
amazing.
On the face, you're absolutely right.
You can tell it's Terry Funk. I mean, the one thing I don't like, or that I wish I seen a little bit more of, I guess I wish the overall base flesh tone was a little bit more red underneath. I feel like his skin is really nice and clean, and then the blood got sprayed on him. But I don't feel like he's in this brutal war, and then he gets cut open, and then throughout the course of more, fighting, his face gets like that. So that's just really nitpicky, though. But this was a beautiful head. This is a top contender for me, and I think for pretty much all of us, right? I think all of us had this within our top 3. So didn't make it easy. Here I'm gonna go to the right. So this is some more of the Terry Funk. It's beautiful. The blood is really realistic too. You see the gloss and the high shine of it. I really like how that looks. from the light blood to the little splat, the little flicks, I guess. Man, I really like the blood, the way it was done on this head.
It's hard to look at.
And that's the point, that's what's so awesome about this challenge. This one, off the top of my head, this one was Black Mass Toys, and he nailed it, man. Like, this was Robbie Lawler.
That guy was in a fight.
Yeah, this was Robbie Lawler and just screaming. So this is the UFC fighter. I'm a huge fan of Robbie Lawler too. So I thought he got the likeness down. I really thought he got the blood. Like, I really think the blood looks great. The one thing
Looks like
that
vampire.
the one thing that feels weird
blood.
to me is, like, I think, like, and it's not his fault and it's not the head. I mean, it is the head, but, like, Mattel lately has been making those necks, like, really high, and, like, it makes the figures weird to me. So, like, I feel like if you look by where the ear's at, it sits weird. But that's not anything to do with the challenge. The challenge is perfectly well done, executed. The black eye almost looks like it doesn't really blend into his lower eyelid. Like, it doesn't really read as much of a black eye as it does to me look like almost like a purple, mascara or something. But it's still really well done. This is amazing quality. The blood is well done. Definitely notable. I mean, professionals really brought it. This one's going to be Justin Murray here, action figure manipulator. Actually went all out and did a whole figure of Brody here. You could see his process. Actually, I like that. He's using paint as a build-up tool, so what he's doing is painting the lines to build up the skin as though it was like scar tissue, then painting him red on top of that is what it looks like. As he fills in, he's got the chain here too. Starts getting really crazy. And now you can see its final. Yeah, its finished results there.
That's like Ric Flair Crimson Mask.
It is that level of Brody blood. I mean, what did you guys think? What did you think of this one?
Like I said, everybody, or you said, and we said, everybody really brought this challenge, and we're not grading on the body of the figure, but to see it together with the head, it just kind of sells the whole effect, in my opinion.
So up next we got this John Moxley, which is done by Ivy. Ivy's Custom Figgies. He did a good job. This is actually part of the amateur bracket, proceeding fourth, right? Because I think he won his matchup.
Oh man, look at that! That's not amateur style. That's pro level blood there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he spread it all around. I like that.
I like the splatter. I really like its effect. It's
even in the hair. It's
almost too randomly done though. To me, it almost looks a tad overdone. I like the head, the way it looks. Kind of got some on the eyeballs. I mean, that's what's tough. Is yeah, you get blood on your eyeballs, but usually when you blink and stuff, it doesn't look like it splattered. So, yeah, I think it might have been a little too carried away, but still, really good showing for me, or, in my eyes, I guess. We got TSM here, did a Shane Douglas. Everyone really liked this, too. I like the cut. The cut actually really reads through. That looks pretty gnarly. You can see into the plastic.
Very realistic looking.
I think the blood looks... The blood looks well applied, and I just think that, without, doing anything to the underlying face, it can only, go so far. Here we got Elite Player doing Becky from Raw. I really like the way this one was done. We did look at reference. Pat pointed out to me that, she does have that mark above on her nose there, and the little spot in her eye. My only problem is I think that they look all a little too similar. But I do really like it. I think it was well done. This is definitely a top
iconic
contender.
moment.
Yeah, this was a top contender for everyone, and well
Absolutely.
deserved. I think we got a picture.
You can't go wrong with Becky.
Yeah, we got a reference picture here. So then this Cena, I believe, was Havoc Figs, you said, and I thought the head was pretty well done. The body is, we're not judging that. It's a little overboard, but overall, the one thing is it almost looks a little too mistakenly, haphazardly done, and that kind of doesn't read well. But it also, luckily the glossiness of it, how well your blood looks. Hopefully you didn't just It looks like you just put a glove on one hand, held a finger, cut off your finger on the other hand, bled over it a few times, and snapped a pic for us. I mean, hopefully that's not what you did, but the blood looks pretty realistic. And
you know what he did? He went, and then he went,
just bleeding over this John Cena finger. I mean, I hope you didn't do that.
that's what the body looks like.
This one is going to be Turbo Toys here. I know this one is, but I don't want to go back to Strong Style yet. This Turbo Toys is actually the Eddie Guerrero, and I really like this one. This one, you can tell he sculpted like the eyes too, and like kind of some of the swelling you could tell. I really like the way it's applied. I like the way right here you can tell it tells a story, right? The gap between Eddie's chest and his neck isn't as bloody, but that's the story that tells is that like he's been dripping blood, and since his chin hangs out past that, his chin falls, and that's where it falls on his chest. And so like little subtleties like that, I feel like really help to sell the overall effect that you're trying to achieve. Granted that that's judging the body, that's extra. The body is applied really well. The hit alone though is applied really well as well. The glossiness, the way it builds up to the hairline, which if this was like a blade job, that's usually where the blood would originate from. So it tells a story there too. Let's see if the next pictures. Man, these are all messed up, but I'm gonna just go ahead and find Turbo's. Then we'll go back. There we go. Okay. This is it from different angles. See, I really like the different layers of staining, like as though it would clear off at other times, or other things might have caused the blood transfer. Like a soaked canvas might cause a different color or a different level of coloration than a direct blood or a direct injury. But either way, I like that. That was cool. This over here is BW. BW really killed it with this Britt Baker. I thought she was amazing. Like, the head looks spot on too. Like, if you look at it, you can like tell like he might have used a Bailey as a base, but he did so much surgery to her that he really captured Britt, which is really amazing. Really notably in the
figure.
Yeah, in the chin area there, and the blood, the way it's applied and the way it spreads, does tell that story as well. Just like it did on Britt Baker's face. And the hair, the paint job, everything on the head is done really well. This was the top one for me. This was really tough too. The pro competition was really tough.
It was super tough.
But yeah, this is BW, just an amazing
you're
work.
like zooming in on pictures and trying to find the most nitpicky thing you possibly can, and I mean, you make our job hard. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. This was Detroit Customs action figure manipulator. His Bruiser Brody again. This one I believe was who sent this one was KVD. Sent this whole Dean Ambrose. I was gonna say Dean Moxley. Dean Ambrose, and for the whole figure paint, it's pretty well done. He's got a lot of bruising. Pretty good showing overall. I mean, this is of the category where everyone's been eliminated, so they're fighting for a spot back on the amateurs. So this is tough competition. At the end of the day, it really came down to KVD and Action Figure Manipulator for all of the judges. Yeah, this one was done by Milkman here, this Brock Lesnar. Pretty well done. All the colors is really one color, though, and it's not glossy, it's not liquidy. So that was the only gripe with that. And you'll see here, compared this to Strong Style Customs, who did this Brock Lesnar. This Brock Lesnar was really amazing. The way he sculpted over the eye, like his eye was already swelled shut. I really liked that. And actually, you want to talk about some things you liked about that here?
Well, he was contacting me, and he's like, "What can I do to take this to the next level?" And I said, "Why don't you try the bruise over the eye?" And he obviously executed it perfectly, in my opinion. It's well done. He's got the ear, he's got the face. It's glossy. It's well done. I like it.
Yeah, I think that eye too is really what helps put it to the next level, and I think a lot of the judges had that as their winner.
That's hard to look at. because you can just feel that pain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Strong Style Customs is really coming out here, and he's the one proceeding in the amateur bracket. So, if he wins this one again, he was the incoming, right? I believe he was the incoming Showstopper Customs winner. So, or
I like the
Showstopper
mouth
Challenge.
open too, because it's like he's in pain. Like,
I mean, yeah, he did repaint the eyes too, and all of that really went to help it. You know, you can see some of the painting outside of the eye on that, and the sculpt a little bit for me on the eyelid was a little bit too harsh for me. But, you know, I can go into that later. But as far as this Donald Cerrone goes, this was from Nick Johnson. Nick's Custom Toys, he killed it. Like, this was a UFC fighter, Cowboy Cerrone. After he had a fight with, I believe it was Tony Ferguson, he got all cut up, his eye blew out, like, he had broken his nose. And the way this was done was just amazing. Like, with amazing accuracy, really. Like,
Nick
just
never fails us.
From the paint
always
job,
going to be his best.
The wrinkles on the hairline, the hair, the way it's painted to blend in, like, it's just, there's so many expert notes to take in this paint job of just this head for Nick, that it's really amazing. Man, yeah, that one is amazing. This one was Skull King. He did a Sin Cara, or it's Mystico, I think, in Mexico. But that was a really cool mask script with the bloody head there. I like that. It looked really cool to me.
I like that everyone's thinking outside the box. Like, what can I do to make my figure different, stand out, you know?
And that was like Bubble Squeak's big advice, you know, try to do that. And I think everyone tried to one-up each other. It was really amazing. This was a really hard contest to score. Like, man,
we keep saying that, but it's because it's true. I mean, there is so many great entries.
This one is going to be Demon Prince. Demon Prince absolutely killed it with his Dustin Rhodes here from Double or Nothing. Oh, this is more Skull King. Okay, this is Ramos figures. Here, I'm going to go back to Demon Prince once we find the next one. We'll cover him again. This is Ramos figs with this Cody. He sculpted that little bit on top there to add it. I feel like it might have stuck out a little bit too much. Not necessarily blended in as well as I'd have liked to see. But all in all, the application and the paint job, very well done. The color of the blood looks really realistic. The way it saturates the blonde hair does too. Yeah, all in all, really well done or well applied. This one,
ironic that the brothers should be together.
Well, and then go into I'll go over here. Go back for this. This is Ramos' other picture, and this is another picture of his Cody. So now going back to Demon Prince. Demon Prince. This was a work in progress picture, as he sculpted this agonizing expression into the brow and the eyes of Dustin here. This was such an amazing sculpt. Like the work that he put into this, man. He's the incoming Showstopper Challenge winner too. So you know, like, he's gonna come out for blood, and his figure really proved that as well.
This is the top two in every judge's mind.
Yeah, and just the way he applied this is so amazing. It's such a layered process. It's really, really high level stuff here. I'm gonna show you the next picture, and this is just mind blowing. Like, really, the way the blonde hair starts to bleed and get stained as it goes forward is like a masterclass and a huge flex on how skilled Demon Prince is at even doing blood like this. Like this, like, wow. Like, if he makes this into a full figure, and like, you know, Cody and, or just a full figure of this, the bloody figure, it's still huge. Like, it's such an amazing piece. It's I'm really excited for it because I hope, like, this is the thing. This is just for this challenge, but like, just this Showstopper Challenge sparked this, and this is such an amazing piece.
You see how important the Showstopper Challenge is. These people are going all out for a 72-hour challenge because they know that the chance to either come back or to have a 3-point advantage or to switch your opponent is game-changing. And
absolutely.
They're bringing it, and in the amateurs and pros both. And like we keep saying, you made our jobs hard. Thank you.
And, yeah, no, absolutely. Going over here, the next one is John Cena. This was by Anonymous. I really like this one. He actually dislodged the nose too, and I thought that was a nicely done, subtle change there. And I thought, for me, that actually made all the difference. It came down to Strong Style Customs versus Anonymous for me, as far as like who was going to win the amateur style, and we still got a few more. But this one ended up being my top pick here just because of the nose and the subtlety. The way it does bleed and originate from the nostrils down and spread in a really like seemingly organic and natural way towards the area of the, where his nose is broken to. And I just thought it was well done. Plus the fade of the hair. I thought Anonymous killed this, and this was like, although subtle, to me this was the best display of what the challenge was. That goes back to what you were saying
earlier. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
It's hard to nail small details, then go all out sometimes. So
I just thought that this John Cena's eyes was painted better than the Brock Lesnar's in the sculpt. I like that Strong Style sculpted the eyelid and it looks good, but the blend line wasn't, it looked sculpted on top. It didn't look like it was his eye swelling up. Versus this one being his nose looking dislodged. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily have to sculpt it. I mean, he might have. I guess I'm not sure how he did. But you don't necessarily need to sculpt it in order to get that effect. But it's still subtle, but yet really reads as a pretty brutal, realistic injury. So, this was another picture of it here. So we got these two, so then this one. So it was really well done. He even got the washes in the ears. I liked that. Well done, well painted. This one is Burt Figs. This was the Edge. Rated. I wanted to say rated R, but not the customizer. This was Burt Figs did this Edge hit. I really liked the way it was stained. The one thing I did say, or that I said to myself, was that the blood is all one color and it's really bright. I didn't see like the darker reds, and then I didn't see like the gloss and like that liquid feel. It really looked, like red paint. So that's one thing that you want to
dark crimson look,
right,
with a little bit of glossiness to it.
But yeah, I mean, still a good showing overall. But this one was from Unstable, I believe. Yeah, with the John Cena and 2 belts. Really went all out and did a lot of blood. I think he really reflected it well, actually. Nothing really major to critique there. And that's all the hits I have. There might have been another one that we would have reviewed in the judges, but I would have probably not put on this file on the computer because it was probably later. But either way, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. We can talk about that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really tough. What did you guys... I mean, it was tough because...
Stop. We're just going to advance everybody. I wish we could, because, I mean, you guys really did bring it, and it's some amazing work there. I mean, so even the pros, how do you choose? I mean, we have to, obviously, we're judges, but it was tough.
It was tough, but for the amateurs, out of the ones that are eliminated, going for a spot in the next round here against, I believe that person is going up against Unstable, right? Or Rated R, I think.
Rated R, yes.
So, either way, that person, we all decided, this was a unanimous decision. Action Figure Manipulator. Justin, you win this challenge. Congrats. You're going to be in the second challenge here, or the second round, in a different part of the bracket. The amateurs, for the, that are already winning, I guess we don't want to say winners, but yeah, amateurs that are still in the contest, that was a really tough one, and I have the one dissenting where I thought Anonymous won, but the rest of the judges had voted for it, and I can also see why, and I respect their opinion as well. So they voted for Strong Style Customs. So Strong Style Customs winning his second Showstopper challenge in a row.
And he has a goal to win every single Showstoppers challenge.
He's on a roll too, so
that's a hefty goal, but he's 2 for 2, so anything is possible.
We'll see.
Sure.
And
again, that bracket was extremely, extremely tight. So
it really was, and that was the Brock Lesnar head, that Strong Style did. If you guys are just now tuning in, and then the last one, the Professional. The Professional is so tough. Man, there's like it was really tough. It's just really tough. There were so many top from Forbidden who sculpted.
Like, this is the one, and then I look at the next one. I zoom in. I'm like, this is the one, and that's the one, and.
I mean, yeah, Forbidden had a great head that was sculpted from scratch. I loved the Terry Funk that it was like wrapped up in the barbed wire. I wish the sculpt had a little bit more like liveliness to the paint, and then I also wish that his face had just a little bit more agony to it. But the hair application, everything was great. I thought that was such a tough one. That was the top one for me. BEW with Britt Baker, I thought that was expertly applied. I thought that was spot on. There's no flaws there. I can't even say anything I wish was better. The only thing is with that injury, you don't necessarily get to show all of the spectrum of damage and violence that you might want to on a challenge like this. That being said, brings us all to Demon Prince, where for a long time here, that was really where everyone was hitting towards. And Demon Prince had such a great showing with the Dustin. He had a resculpt of the eyes. He really had the blonde hair, the bleach blonde hair, looking bloodstained, which is really, I think, like expert level stuff to be able to do, and to do it well and convincingly, and he did it really well. But then you have Nick's Custom Toys, and Nick Johnson coming in with that Cowboy Cerrone. Man, that Cowboy Cerrone, like, to me, was just even on another. It was so tough because it's neck and neck. But when you end up being able to see like the bruising of the eye, the tongue hanging out, the teeth, the expression, the hairs, the painting of the skin, the wrinkles. You know, the one thing with Goldust is that you got so much red and so much blood that it covers up pretty much all the flesh. On the other hand, with the UFC kind of injury, it's such a brutal injury, so you can still see a lot of the flesh. But then you can see the injury in all its graphicness, and that ultimately is the one that all of us ended up going towards, was Nick's Custom Toys.
That's a good point, though. A UFC injury, can be more damaging than a WWE. And thinking outside the box like that is what it takes to win the Showstopper Challenge.
Yeah.
So,
well, and Black Mask said the same thing to his credit as well. But Nick Johnson, it was tough. Demon Prince almost came out and won the Showstopper Challenge again, too, on the professional side, but Nick Johnson did. So, that being said, we have all of our winners for the Showstopper Challenge. I know
now for the big moment. I hope you're all sitting down. we're talking. Try this out. No, seriously. Video game attire.
Right. So video game, yeah, like, essentially... the way Joey, he was really the champion of this, and it was in earlier comments, I think, in one of our Instagram posts, but, like, he was the one really championed this theme, and everyone's like, yeah, let's see how this goes, but it was kind of like Braun Strowman, if he designed his gear to look like Zangief, that kind of evolution, so it's like, I think it's supposed to be, like, wrestling attire, right, but...
Right.
Inspired by a video game character.
Like, Rey Mysterio's done that. Seth Rollins has done that.
Right.
So, drawing those as your inspiration. So you don't want to necessarily be that character, but you want to have inspiration from it.
And that's the best way to clarify it. Yeah, I mean, you're not making a Superman with John Cena. But you're going to be like, if John Cena was to, pay tribute to this character and make gear based off of that, what would that look like? So
maybe a big JC in the center and a cape or something.
I mean, so the freedom is really there. It's however you guys want it to be, however you guys want to go ahead and do it.
And this is a never done before theme, so I'm excited to see how it turns out because people in the past have interpreted different ways of our rounds, so
yeah,
I can't wait to see what comes up with.
I'm really excited too because normally I would be like, this is a really tricky theme that might be really niche-like, but the more I think about it, the creativity is there to really apply it to whatever wrestler has the gear and whatever video game character and marry the two. So that's a creative component to this. That being said, entries, I mean, it's Wednesday the 2nd here, so technically 2 weeks from now would be on the 6th. So we can always do. I mean, we'll end up just saying it's the 23rd. So we'll end up the 6th going to the 7th is when this round's entries will be due. So it'll be.
And you saw what everyone did for the 72-hour challenge. And always in the past, whatever they did in round 1, they tend to step up even more in round 2. So if they did that for round 1, 72-hour challenge, I can't wait to see round 2. Let's just get in the time machine and go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like midnight, Wednesday going into Thursday. As soon as Thursday, it becomes that day, the Thursday, the 7th of May, 2020. That's when the deadline is in. You guys got to email them. That's always the best resolution. It helps if you guys message and let me know who you guys are. But by this point, I think I'm getting it down anyways, so...
Please email it, though, because it just makes it so much easier to organize if we're getting it in one place instead of 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for this one, make sure you have that image of the full figure for the matchup style photos, because that's always...
Front, back, and sides at a bare minimum.
For the judges,
with a
right.
clear background.
Yep. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's all. I think that's all we got to say about the next theme. I don't have any other notes about it. Do you?
Nope, this is the real chosen one, Mad Reaper, signing off. See ya soon.
Buster.